Holiday, good evening, everyone. Welcome to KUAM News Weekend Edition. Guahusi Isaiah Ugin, and thank you for joining us this evening. 31-year-old David Ben Gogui was arrested after a complaint was filed for sexual abuse on March 30th. Guam Police Department's domestic abuse response team met with the minor victim where she alleged she was sexually assaulted numerous times by Cruz between January 2019 and December 2019. Court documents state Cruz used to date a relative of the victim and that she was too afraid to tell anyone what was happening with Cruz. Cruz was charged with 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony and 1 count of second-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony. He doesn't remember committing the crime, but he's not ruling it out. 39-year-old Jason San Nicolas Kenga was charged with criminal sexual conduct as a second-degree felony. Court documents say the victim was about 14 years old when Kenga allegedly sexually assaulted her, once in July 2019 and again in August 2019. Reports also say officers met with Kenga and he revealed he knew the victim but has no memory of the events, but does not rule out that it might have happened. Kenga allegedly told police he often gets drunk, blacks out, and sleeps naked in either his truck or on the ground, and that there have been times in 2019 where he was parked outside of the victim's home. Kenga was booked and confined. The Guam Crime Stoppers is hoping the island can help in locating the persons responsible for an arson in the southern village of Malesu. Here is Sergeant Paul Tapau with this week's Guam Crime Stoppers of the Week.
Howdy, I'm Sergeant Paul Tapau, your Guam Crime Stoppers Coordinator, and this is your Crime of the Week. The Guam Crime Stoppers and the Department of Agriculture's Forestry and Soil Resource Division is seeking assistance from the community relative to an arson investigation that occurred in the beautiful village of Malesu. Now, the preliminary report suggests that on Saturday, June 4th, at around 1:45 in the morning, CCTV cameras from KTWR radio station depicted 2 men with flashlights walking around the property of the radio station. At around 1:46 in the morning, a fire was captured within the cameras with the 2 men walking away and leaving the property by Demetrio Q. Meno in Malesu. Now, the Guam Crime Stoppers is seeking the assistance from the community relative to this case investigation. If anyone has any information that can aid our investigators, you are kindly asked to submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All tip information will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
In this next story, he's an island boy recognized as Region Sailor of the Year. KUAM's Jonathan Charfres has more on Master at Arms First Class Jimmy Lee Balon, who is currently assigned to U.S. Naval Base Guam.
26-year-old Master at Arms First Class Jimmy Lee Bailon recently returned from a special ceremony held at the National Museum of the U.S. Navy, where he was one of 4 finalists vying for the 2021 Commander Navy Installations Command Shore Enterprise Sailor of the Year Award.
I got to represent not just myself, but my installation, Naval Base Guam, the region, and who I am and where I'm from. I was very proud to say, I'm from Guam and talk about, who I am and who we are.
Bailon, a husband and father to 4 boys, competed after being named Region Sailor of the Year. His reaction?
Happy, shocked, excited, and then proud. I get to represent my island, my command, my sailors.
But for Lieutenant Elliot Fiashi, security officer for Naval Base Guam, it didn't surprise him one bit.
I anticipate him going very far in his career. He's got the drive, the motivation, and the smarts to be able to do anything he wants. And so when they told me, I'm just happy for him. This is good for him, it's good for his family, and it'll help him get promoted. And that's my job, is to make sure that he gets to where he needs to be in his career. And he's making it really easy. He's doing this all by himself. He's rocking and rolling.
The 2004 graduate of Simon Sanchez High School has been in the Navy for 17 years. He recalls the very reason why he decided to sign up.
Going back to my grandmother, she's inspiration for me. Very strong woman, strong tomorrow woman. She was, a young child when the Japanese invaded Guam, and she often talked about her experience, the atrocities of having them here, and the pride and the happiness of being liberated. I know that my uncle, her brother, kind of joined the Navy and made that decision because of that. So I'm starting that, continuing that tradition. It kind of skipped a generation with my mom and her siblings, but I'm continuing it. So, go Navy.
Part of the Guardians of the Fleet, Bailon's job is a tall order.
He is in charge of the entire watch section. So all the military security forces that we have on Guam for the Navy side of the house, he's managing for me. So he makes sure that everything from the new Camp Blas all the way down to main base is properly patrolled. All the gates are manned. People are getting their time off, their lunch breaks. He makes sure that every call for service is answered in a timely manner, responding to burglary alarms. There's so much riding on his shoulders, and he is just, he's one of the guys that just handles it takes it in stride.
He attributes his success thus far to growing up on the island.
Guam, we are very prideful people. We have strong family values. And that was very easy for me to translate into the Navy. I get to share, again, I always go back who I am, where we come from, and we are very prideful people from Guam.
Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jonah Gancharfris.
Turning to national headlines, a new nationwide survey shows for the first time the average age of vehicles on the road is now over 12 years old.
Linda Burns' Volkswagen Beetle has been around the block.
This is 22 years old.
And it looks like she'll be behind the wheel a while longer.
Yeah, I'd love to have a new car, but the cost of new cars these days is prohibitive.
And Linda's not alone. A new nationwide survey shows for the first time the average age of vehicles on the road is now over 12 years old.
Cars and parts are hard to come by.
Supply chain shortages and manufacturing delays are creating a limited supply of new cars and making used cars more expensive. Local mechanics say they're seeing a huge increase in customers trying to keep their clunkers.
Sometimes people look for a new car and that they go out there and get frustrated and then they just come right back.
So what should people do to keep their older cars running? We're getting answers.
Maintenance is key. A small leak can cause a major problem.
Tips include replacing oil and fluids regularly. Don't ignore that check engine light if it comes on. And fill gas tanks at least 1/4 full to help keep the fuel pump cool.
It's just like your body. You maintain your body, you maintain your vehicle, it'll run better, it'll last longer.
More and more drivers pushing the pedal on aging automobiles. It's a trend that may last until there's a shift in record-breaking car prices.
Well, as long as they keep on running, that's where I'm going with it.
Adrienne Moore, CBS News, Sacramento.
Are you applying for a job soon? Well, here at home on Guam, you may need help with your resume. If so, the Guam Department of Labor is hosting a job readiness workshop for the first time after 15 years. The workshop will take place the next 2 Tuesdays on June 21st and June 28th. GDOL Public Information Officer Janela Carrera detailed what participants can expect.
What it is in partnership with the Society for Human Resource Management, this is SHRM. They're going to be coming out and providing these trainings. And what they'll be doing is they'll be teaching these small groups of classes and teaching anyone really who's looking for a job seekers, how to build their resumes, as well as giving them expert tips on interview skills. We're bringing this back because now in this economy, in this environment, we're actually seeing some job growth again, and we kind of want to give people some tips, how to build a quality resume, and this will actually give people some insight on what do employers look for.
The job readiness workshop will be held on the 3rd floor training room of the GCIC building in Agotnya. Seats are limited to only 35 per day, so call the American Job Center at 671-475-7000 or 475-7001 to reserve your spot now. In other news, a local hotel is fundraising to assist the over 5 million affected by the devastating invasion of Ukraine by Russia. The Western Resort Guam has begun selling, quote, "Stand with Ukraine," end quote, wristbands to raise money toward relief support during their time of distress. as of June 14th. The Ukrainian war crisis has raged as people must flee to safety in neighboring countries since March. As a result, many citizens within Ukraine's border have been displaced, and the conflict has impacted many. Profits from the wristbands will be given to the World Central Kitchen, who work to distribute meals to those impacted by the war, both in Ukraine and those who have fled to safer neighbors. The wristbands are priced at $5 at the Westin Resort's front desk reception. It's in Japanese restaurant, Taste Restaurant, and The Mix. Ahead on your news leader, the newest Culture Club inductee. But first, with Sunday being Father's Day, we wanted to recognize some of the island's amazing dads out there. Thank you to all those who submitted for our Father's Day montage. Happy Father's Day from all of us here at KUAM.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
The rising cost of living is affecting all of us on Guam. Our administration has expanded a program. We want to pay for your child's daycare up to $675 a month per child. This means more money in your pocket to pay for other expenses like the cost of gas and groceries. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is investing in Guam's future, and that starts by supporting our working families. We are all in this together, Guam.
This ad is paid for by government funds of the Office of the Governor and the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Welcome back to KUAM News Weekend Edition. The newest inductee of the Culture Club is a gardener, Kat Perez.
Culture Club is brought to you by Tropical Ice.
Hafide, Guahusi Catherine Perez. I'm a student at the University of Guam, majoring in agriculture and minoring in biology. I'm currently working as an intern at Farm to Table under the Beginner Farmer and Rancher Development Program for the Research Corporation of UOG. I am also working under Azuda Foundation. Manamkutu Manhoban is the name of the project. Aside from like school and work, I also have my own garden, and I also raise bees in my backyard. I was with my grandparents a lot growing up, and you know, when you're with them, you do what they do, and a lot of that was planting, so we would plant at their house. One of my core memories with my grandparents is my mama was in a wheelchair at the time already, and so she couldn't be bending down in the soil like digging, right? So I would be sitting on her lap with the plant on my lap, and then my grandpa would be the one digging the hole, and then he'd be like throwing dirt at us, you know, like fun little memories like that. And I think it was just the love and the sharing. I think that's what really spoke to me again as an adult doing agriculture. I started my little journey 3 years ago. It was just with little like cash crops like beans and eggplants and tomatoes. That was my main thing. And then a year after, I got into like root crops. Those were always a dream crop of mine. And my first harvest of kamuti, oh my goodness. I only had like 4 or 5 potatoes, but I cooked it and I made sure to give at least 1 piece for every person. And then the following year, I got into beekeeping. And then this year is when I did my first harvest of honey. So each year it's just been a learning experience and something big and something new for me. In the beginning, it was mainly because it's what I enjoyed doing, and my dad always said to find something that I love and stick with it and do it, because I don't want to be stuck with like a job I'm not excited to go to and like I don't feel happy doing it, you know? And then when I started gaining traction on Instagram and people asking if I had seedlings or any of the stuff that I was growing, I was interested in like providing for the community. So making that transition from just sustaining myself at home, my family, to on a bigger scale and, you know, and providing for the community. I think agriculture is really important these days because we can bridge that connection. We can reconnect to our ancestors that way, and we can reconnect to the land and sea in that way while sustaining ourselves, you know, weaning off of all these imported goods. And we were self-sustaining peoples before, and we can do it again in a bigger scale with all these new technologies, you know, like hydroponics. We just need more dedication and a lot of support, which is what we're getting now. You know, I don't expect everyone to go outside, stick their hands in dirt, because that's not for everyone, believe me, I know. But you know, just buying the groceries, buying the products that the farmers do, supporting the farms by posting whatever they post, sharing like on their story too, like, hey, this farmer's over here if you guys are looking, you know, it's every little thing matters and every little thing counts, and just the smallest thing of support is enough. My name is Catherine Perez, and I'm so proud to be a part of KUAM's Culture Club.
Culture Club is brought to you by Tropical Ice.
Coming up, a sports recap with KUAM's Dave Delgado. Stay tuned.
tell you about Johnny Davis. This kid is special with a capital S. He's an incredible shooting guard.
The toasted cheddar chalupa is back, only at Taco Bell.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G.
Guam is sending 18 athletes for athletics to the Pacific Minigames in Saipan. Team Guam will be led by veterans Derek Mendel, Minami Ajima, and Ryan Metienzo. Opening ceremonies for the games begin on June 17th.
I think we have a pretty good mix of veterans with newcomers this year, so I think it's going to be pretty exciting. We have a couple college athletes that are back to compete after their college season. We have some, have a few adults that have continued training here on island and that they're ready to go. And then we have a few, I think 2 or 3 high schoolers that are fresh off their high school season that are going to be heading over there as well.
I'm looking forward to the experience. I know there's going to be some crazy fast times, so hopefully I'll be able to hit a pretty good PR, which would hopefully end up being a win legal PR, which would be a Guam record. But yeah, just being able to compete, the opportunity to compete, watching my other teammates over here, seeing how far they've come, what the work they've put in across all sports that are going, is going to be a pretty special event, so I'm really looking forward to it.
I just can't wait to see the caliber and how they kind of run things out there. You know, it would be my first time competing, so it's just a lot of excitement, really. It's nothing but a blessing. You know, it's all an opportunity that I'm going to continue to take, and definitely it's just, it's all just excitement, really, at this point.
As sad as I am to not be able to run with like my old teammates, the veterans, I love seeing such a young team because it shows that there is a future in Guam track and field. And so that for me is amazing, and I hope that in some way I'll be able to mentor them or help them throughout their journey.
The last Pacific Mini Games was held in Port Vila, Vanuatu. Guam won a silver and bronze medal back in 2017.
Just that feeling you get when you step on the track, having Guam across your chest, is definitely, it gives you a little bit more of a push at the line, makes you want to do better, because you're not just representing like a school, you're representing your country as a whole.
This island has done so much for me. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today, wouldn't be able to compete in the States, wouldn't be able to go to school in the States if I didn't have the support from my community, my school, my island. So it's amazing for me to be able to finally give back to them in some way, especially after 2 years of not being able to compete for them. This is amazing, and I'm so excited.
Being able to just represent Guam, you know, with all the pride that I have, and, you know, with trusting the system and how far it's taken me, you know, I definitely see like myself growing in the sport and continuing to run.
12 athletes from the Guam Weightlifting Federation will be competing for a chance to step onto the podium at the Pacific Minigames. Team Guam is scheduled to hit the platform between June 20th through the 23rd. Coach Ed Molinos is confident that the team assembled can bring home some medals from Saipan.
This team has been training together for a little bit more than 2 years since the last national competition we have in 2020. From there on, they've been training. From there, even during the pandemic, we've been training carefully. You know, in a way, our platforms are spread out more than 6, and our gym is open wide. So they've been training hard for this.
Training actually never stopped for us, so it's like all season it's preparation. It is a privilege, it is an honor to represent Guam. This is going to be my first IWF sanctioned competition, so I'm very excited. Especially I am going in Saipan with all the team. So I'm very excited.
It's an amazing opportunity to represent Guam time and time again in every competition that I do. This time around, to actually have a full team of 12 to go out, have that support, that team support, to be there in the back with you to help you load weights, help you warm up, and then actually cheer for you on the side. It's going to be a great experience.
This will actually be my last time to compete competitively. Off island I may, still compete here on island, but as far as training wise, it might be my last run to go off island, and I'm looking to go big or go home.
So I was born and raised in Saipan. The last major competition I did off island was in 2014. I actually represented Saipan in the 2014 micro games in Ponape. So coming back, mindset is really different. Coming back, representing Guam this time, and coming back to Saipan to compete. It is bittersweet, but even if I have Guam on my chest, it's all love for the islands. My family is still there. I still have friends there, and regardless of what I do, the goal is always to podium.
Guam will be represented in both the men's and women's division for beach volleyball in Saipan. The Pacific Minigames has drawn a total of 11 countries for the sport. Australia won the gold for the men's back at the 2019 Pacific Games in Samoa.
We got a chance to do some, like a whole program that was set out from the Federation, which was the first time I've ever gone through something like that. And it's really helped out building our strength, our conditioning, helping with rehabilitation. I feel it's really helped us prepare for the games in a way that we haven't been able to do in the past. It's been an awesome process.
He's like the coach on the court for me. He's really showing me the ropes during practice and pulls me aside, tells me what I should work on it, get better. Chemistry is definitely better throughout the months of practicing together. Obviously, I would love to get a gold medal, but just being there as long as possible is also the goal.
Kendra Bird and Kristen Serrano represent Guam on the women's side. Kendra has represented the island before, while Kristen will be making her Pacific Minigames debut.
The prospect of getting to meet different athletes from their countries, representing their countries, is really exciting too. And I'm really excited to meet them and challenge them and hopefully win. And bringing home something is really important, I think, for both of us, because this is kind of our chance to do that and to represent our island.
It's been a great time knowing that we've gotten stronger, and then even knowing that we've prepped a lot sooner for this. We've come a long way since day one, and it's interesting seeing us play back from those first tournaments from selection to where we are now. And I'm really excited. I feel like it brings a whole new dynamic, and the chemistry between us has been really, really good. So I'm excited to see what we put on the court when we get out there.
Guam's baseball team dropped their opening game of the Pacific Minigames to the host country, NMI, 4-1. NMI got ahead early and held on for the win. Team Guam scored their lone run in the 5th inning. Make sure to check out www.northernmarianas2022.com for schedules, live streams, and results.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G. KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
I have a phone. I have no TV. Ooh, TV on phone. Get live TV on your phone or any device with DTV Plus from Docomo Pacific. Watch live channels or stream from your favorite apps on any device, all from your home Wi-Fi. No cable lines, no hassle, more savings. All for only $35 a month with your link bundle. DTV Plus, your cable TV on Wi-Fi. Ooh, TV on phone.
The rising cost of living is affecting all of us on Guam. Our administration has expanded a program. We want to pay for your child's daycare up to $675 a month per child. This means more money in your pocket to pay for other expenses like the cost of gas and groceries. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is investing in Guam's future, and that starts by supporting our working families. We are all in this together, Guam.
This ad is paid for by government funds at the Office of the Governor and the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
Over in the CNMI, the Taste of the Marianas Festival will kick off this weekend, highlighting the best of CNMI cuisine at the Garapan fishing base, along with the colorful taste of food from the region. There will also be a new display of village flags at the opening festival. The flags are part of a village pride contest conducted by the Governor's Council of Economic Advisors with the CNMI Public School System and the Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda Mayor's offices. According to a media release, more than 800 entries were received and 35 student works of art were selected to inspire the final flag designs. Co-chair of the council, Jerry Tan, said the council realized that there were a need of village flags to showcase what makes each village special. Students of the Marianas accepted the challenge and thoughtfully designed flags that captured the best of home and what makes their villages unique. And before we close out the newscast tonight, the latest roundup of your birthday shoutouts courtesy of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
We have 2 birthday celebrants on Saturday and 1 on Sunday, so let's go in order, everybody. Happy birthday on the 18th of June to Crisvel, who celebrates a birthday this year, and Ezra, who celebrates birthday number 23. Ezra, your birthday shout-out says, "We are so very proud of you, young man, and send you blessings for a successful future. May your dreams come true, and we wish for a safer and kinder universe for you and all future generations." That's very, very true. Good job, family. We love you. Say mom, dad, and your brothers, Kian and Tegan, and all your familia. And on Sunday, the day of rest, Arya Jo Lizama Cepeda has a birthday this year, so let's all celebrate all of our birthday celebrants, and we wish them all and their families a safe island weekend and the very best. And a happy birthday.
That's going to do it for us this evening's newscast on Saturday and Weekend Edition. Thank you so much for watching. We actually close out the show recognizing the amazing graduates from the class of 2022. Good night.
Congratulations, class of 2022, presented by the University of Guam. Congratulations, class of 2022, presented by the University of Guam.